Hello and welcome to Talking Legal. I'm Praveen Gautam, trusted marketing advisor. I help entrepreneurs and enterprises to build their digital brand and monetize it. Now, if you are tuning in from different social media, including Facebook or LinkedIn, feel free to give us a thumbs up, comments, and share this post. If you are new, welcome to the show. Just type it where you are tuning in from. And if you have been checking out episodes in past few weeks or few months, feel free to just sit back and relax for next 10 to 15 minutes. Today's episode is very different a little bit. We want to talk about deep dive into legal. And one of our members asked us about how to engage the lawyers. So we have got a very special guest, Len Watt. Welcome to the show, Len. Great to have you today.
Thank you, Praveen. It's always a pleasure to be here with you.
That's great. So, Len, you are a principal lawyer from Becker and founder of Becker Watt Full Service Legal Firm.
Yes.
Today we want to talk about, obviously, our viewers are a little bit, curious to know how to engage with a lawyer. So that's what we want to deep dive, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. I think it's something that probably a lot of people aren't as familiar with or understand as well as, it seems intrinsic that you just do it, but it's not always as easy as you think.
You bet. And I love this quote from Charles Dickens. If there were no bad people, there will be no good lawyers.
Well, I mean, I guess from my point of view, I make my living by helping people solve the problems that are created. I mean, lawyers hopefully don't create the problems, but our role is to help people to solve them.
You bet. Couldn't agree more as a trusted legal advisor. And that's what you and your team focus on, helping your clients both on personal and business matter. I totally get it. Now, some of our viewers are just curious to know why engaging a lawyer in an early stage, let me focus that word, early stage is important in both personal and business matter, Len.
Well, I guess I see it quite regularly where people think that they can, or business owners think that they can deal with a legal matter themselves, and they are entering into an environment that they're not familiar with, and they're entering into procedures and issues, etc., that they're also not familiar with. I mean, the practice of law is like any profession. It requires dedication, and it requires time, and it requires experience. I mean, I don't profess that I could, walk in and perform a brain surgery. So, I mean, whilst possibly not the same sort of thing, but we're trained to do what we do, and sometimes engaging us at an earlier opportunity can actually, help resolve a matter rather than escalate it.
You bet. And someone like your team obviously have over 30 years of experience in different subject. So I get that. Now, also on that note, so any public members or any of the public can just pick up the phone and talk to the lawyers and start to solve their problems, or is there any process they have to be involved in?
Well, I guess I can talk for the way that we do it. And what we do is we do an initial consultation. So we book a time with the person, these days either by Zoom or in person, depending on their preference. And we sit down and first we talk to them about what the problem is, and then we look to get from them the relevant documents that are involved in the matter. And we're not there to solve the problem in that first half-hour engagement. We're there to get an understanding of what the problem is, and then go away and research what's happening, read documents, come to a legal understanding, because it's important to distinguish a legal understanding as to the understanding of the person, because sometimes they're not exactly the same, and people often think that there's a particular issue. But upon examination, it may not be that's the issue that's relevant. And what our role is to, and I know this is a favourite term of yours, to deep dive into the matter and to actually pull apart what's happening, and then present back to the person, a legal point of view on what their particular issue is.
Right, right. So what you are saying is obviously understand the matter, and you have briefly touched about documents or paperwork.
Yeah.
And every legal work. I mean, I'm almost sick and tired of hearing paperwork, paperwork, paperwork. So just curious to know your thought about why do lawyers provide so much paperwork before even they start the work, Len?
Well, there's a very simple answer to that, and that is because we have to. So engaging with a lawyer is not as simple as picking up the phone and starting to solve the problem. I mean, I think over time, lawyers and clients develop relationships where certainly they can, pick up a conversation or, drop back into step and certainly, work towards that. But if it's the first time you're engaging with that lawyer, we need to, understand what the matter is. We need to then provide you with cost estimates and disclosure documentation, etc., that we're required to do by legislation. I mean, I know that it's sometimes, and I have clients that I do a lot of work for, particularly builder developers who sell residential units, and they say to me, "Why do you have to keep giving us the same document over and over and over again?" And the answer is, I've got no choice. I need to engage with you in a professional and competent manner, and this is what's required to do that.
So a simple answer is you have to. There is a law to keep the paperwork happening. Is that what we're hearing?
But yeah, exactly. But one of the things that we do now is that we've started to use DocuSign. So we're trying to make the whole process simpler for people. So some accountants use DocuSign. Business owners will be familiar with signing their BAS by DocuSign sometimes. So
very easy.
We've adopted DocuSign to try and reduce the burden on our clients. But unfortunately, there's some things that we can't just get away from.
Yeah, and I totally understand. And DocuSign, even personally, we use it in our business, so it's very easy. The whole idea, what we're looking is making the client's life easier, isn't it? Because everyone is so busy these days, and when you try to ask them to come in the office and sign the paperwork, it's just not going to happen. And obviously, many times we meet the deadline. So this is very easier, and obviously the new ways of doing business. Love it.
Yeah, but I mean, another downside too is if we're engaging with the consumer, they have to print off, sometimes 16, 17, 18 pages of documents, then sign them and scan them back in. I know that home offices are becoming more and more sophisticated, but not everybody has the ability to be able to sign and then scan the document back in. So, it's just a point of interruption. So if we can make that easier, then that's what we need to do.
Great point, Len. Now, just on that note, then, just some of the viewers are very curious to know. I got one question actually. What happens if the consumer is not happy with the advice what lawyers have provided to them? So, any thoughts on that, Len?
Well, look, I mean that's a very interesting and that's that's a 15-minute topic in its own right. But simply. People don't always want to hear what we have to say, because sometimes they don't, what our legal advice is different to their perception of how things should be or how things are. So, I mean, I had a recent discussion with a client, and I said to him, well, look, this is what the legislation says. It's not my job to make you do this, but this is my advice. You can take it or leave it as you wish. Now, that's a choice that the person has to come to. My obligation is to form a legal opinion and offer that advice to the client. The client can accept the advice or they can reject the advice. Now, if they reject the advice, we are, once again, a little bit of paperwork, but sometimes they may find that they get a letter from their lawyer saying, we offered you the advice, you have, rejected that advice, and so therefore, the consequences that may arise due to that rejection of our advice, something along those lines. But,
great point.
I mean, you don't have to do what we say.
Absolutely.
But generally what we're trying to do is help.
But many times as a trusted legal advisor, sometime I hear many times with your clients saying as a sounding board, trusted sounding board, they can just want some opinion or some thought or some options from you as well, I would imagine, isn't it, Len?
Yeah, look, and I don't mind the robust conversation either, and I don't mind, and the conversation I'm referring to with a client the other day was a little bit robust, where and there's nothing wrong with that, as long as it's robust in the right way and in the right spirit. So I'm more than happy to have personally to have my opinion tested. I'm not saying that I'm always right, but I'm saying that this is the view that I've formed, given my experience and my review of the problem.
You bet, and that's where you need a trusted legal advisor, not just a lawyer for the sake of solving the legal solutions, and that's what you stands out very well with in the marketplace. Great. Now, just I'm conscious with the time, Len. The other one of the viewers from Melbourne, she asked, what would happen once the work is done? Can a consumer have a lawyer's invoice reviewed? What's your thought on that?
Yes, of course, yeah, and that's absolutely a right of one of our clients to seek a review of our invoices via a costs assessor. So if there's a dispute over the amount that's owed, then yes, people have rights. They can firstly ask us to justify. In my experience, I generally find that there's a conversation to be had. And, there are times when, you look at the matter and you go, okay, the client's got a point. Let's reduce the invoice. Other times we believe we're right, so we stick to our guns. But if it can't be resolved through discussion, then the client is able to seek a cost assessor's review of the invoices they've been given.
Right, because obviously invoices or a cost factor is the biggest thing. People get scared, as soon as they hear about legal terms or legal matters, the people scared about how much cost gonna to cost as any member of public.
Look, I mean, one of the things that often comes up, and one of the things that I often look at when I'm reviewing the invoices that we send out, is that if we have for example, a telephone conference with a client, now there might be more than one of my staff members present. So should I charge for each staff member that's listening to that call? In my view, no. So each of my guys will put their time in for the work that they've done, but then it's up to me to go in and say, well, okay, look, I use the legal term pro bono, which means not charging. I'll pro bono out that particular person's time, because we're not going to charge for two people to be involved, to listen to a telephone call. Just as a matter of courtesy to our clients.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And I just see one comment there from Kelly. It says, if there is no bad people, there will be no bad lawyers either. Okay.
Well, there may be a point.
Yep. Thanks, Gary. Thank you for your participation. I hope this quick videos has been helpful to you and to the community right there. But if there's any specific questions you have on the legal matters, Len and team, feel free to just send an email. I think the best email is info@beckerwatt.com.au.
Yep, info@beckerwatt.com.au. Our 1300 @legal number is always a good way to get us as well. And the other way is via the inquiry form on the website. That'll get to us as well.
Beautiful. So there is still people can book 30 minutes or 60 minutes initial consultation, as Len mentioned, to understand the problem. And definitely he and his team can, different both personal and family matters, they can help to resolve. Now, I'm conscious with the time. Any final things you want to share with the viewers right now, Len?
Look, I think it's something that I say quite a lot, but I don't think that the general public should be scared to engage their lawyer. Don't hold off. Don't think that you're saving money by not engaging a lawyer, because quite often that's not the case. There's someone very wise once said to me, "I don't need a lawyer. I don't need a lawyer. Oh, look, I'm on the courthouse steps. I need a lawyer." Engage early. Hopefully that can help you.
That's a great point. Thank you so much, Len. I hope you enjoyed the episodes. As Len was just reflecting about, get the lawyer early, your trusted legal team or your advisor early, so that it would be good on your business as well as in personal matters. Thank you once again for tuning in. If there is any specific questions, feel free to email to Len and his team at info@bakerwatt.com.